Story, the new kid in class. When I was in ninth grade, we got a new student in our class. His name was Daniel. Now, Daniel was different. He was tall, skinny, wore thick glasses, and his clothes were always a little oversized. He didn't really talk much, and when he did, his voice cracked in this awkward way. Naturally, in a high school full of judgmental teenagers, he stood out. On the very first day, someone whispered, "Look at him, he looks like a scarecrow." Others laughed. I didn't say anything, but I didn't stop them either. Over the weeks, the teasing continued. People would hide his backpack, call him names, mock the way he walked or spoke, and every time, Daniel just kept quiet. He never fought back. He just smiled weakly and carried on. One day in the cafeteria, someone accidentally spilled a whole tray of food onto his shirt. The entire table burst into laughter. I saw Daniel standing there, his shirt covered in spaghetti, his glasses falling off, and for the first time, I saw it in his eyes. He wasn't just embarrassed, he was broken. Something inside me hurt. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking, what if that was me? What if everyone laughed at me every single day? How much could I take before I gave up? The next morning, I decided I couldn't stay silent anymore. When I got to class, a group of kids were already laughing at Daniel's old sneakers. And before I could think twice, I said, "Hey, knock it off. At least he has the guts to show up and be himself. Can you say the same?" The room went quiet. Some people rolled their eyes, but others just stopped laughing. That day at lunch, I sat next to Daniel. He looked at me like he couldn't believe it. We started talking. He was actually really funny, and he knew a ton about science and history. He even loved drawing comic books. Slowly, over time, others started to see what I saw. Daniel wasn't the weird new kid. He was just Daniel. Smart, kind, and actually a really good friend. Years later, after graduation, Daniel gave a speech at our school reunion. He said, "I almost quit school in ninth grade. I felt like I didn't belong. But one person decided to sit next to me when no one else would, and that changed everything. That gave me hope." And then he looked right at me. I'll never forget that moment. The lesson. Sometimes it doesn't take a crowd to make a difference. It just takes one person brave enough to stand up, to speak out, or simply to sit beside someone who's alone. Because one small act of kindness can change someone's whole story.